Hi, I'm the chair of the National Spectrum Consortium, Lizzie Paul. The Spotlight is a series of short interviews with NSC members in order to highlight a little more about their capabilities and their interests. This will help both Capstone Partners as well as other companies and DOT to collaborate and interact more. So today, let me introduce you to Alan Proithis, who is the CEO of Capstone Partners. So, Alan, welcome.
Well, thanks for
Thank
having
you
me
for
today,
joining us.
Lizzie.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. So, before we get into our conversation about Capstone Partners, can you tell us a little more about your role?
Sure. Well, Capstone Partners is my company I founded a few years ago, and uh, and so I lead Capstone Partners, and we do a variety of things, all tied to connected solutions. Whether it's the exciting things we're involved with the NSC, or accelerating companies in private industry that have some level of connected solution. They're going through some product launch or new market access.
It's great. So, would you like to expand a little more on the wireless and networking communication capabilities of Capstone Partners?
Sure thing. I personally have been in the mobile business, I think, since we were using cans with string. So I got to enjoy from the very earliest days and all the evolutions. And really, my personal perspective and Captain's perspective is really more on the application and business side. So, how do you take all this great technology and actually apply it to solving very specific problems? So, we play the role of really a solutions architect and systems integrator, bringing mobile expertise. I mean, I personally have led efforts to deploy, for instance, IoT wireless networks covering over 70 million people in the US with solutions in just about every industry you could name, from logistics to agriculture to facilities management. Even earlier in my career, I led business development and strategy globally for mobile for HP. Um, and that's really what Capstone is about pulling together these rather extensive contacts we have. So, for some of the things we're involved in today, for instance, because of the very deep Silicon Valley relationships we have, we're able to select really the very best of Silicon Valley technology that, frankly, never would have even considered a government project, and really bring that in, really do the right level of integration and software around it to come up with a solution that solves some of these very pressing problems that the NSC is really created to address.
Yeah. So it looks like a lot of great innovative ideas you've got, and you bring the ideation into the whole thing and create an innovative environment and ecosystem. So can you expand on that a little bit and let us know how that helps the National Spectrum Consortium and those efforts?
Sure, I'd be happy to talk about what we're doing right now as part of our Marine Corps logistics based project in Albany, Georgia. So, Capstone got involved at the invitation of Federated Wireless, who's the prime for our project. And in fact, the person, as you know, who runs the government division there is the former chair of the NSC, Sal Dietrich, who was kind enough to include Capstone. And as you know, for a lot of these projects, a lot of the members also tend to be very technical infrastructure related in terms of launching these 5G networks, which is fantastic. It's important and crucial stuff. Where we came in is really, what do you do with it? Because if you think about it, when you install a 5G network, if you don't have applications, all you're doing is standing there, asking your customer to, feel the vibe of 5G around you. You really need applications to demonstrate the return on investment, to demonstrate the usability, and even demonstrate the network's operating. So, in working very closely with our partner Federated and also with people like JMA Wireless and Cisco, came up with a set of applications to not only add value to the implementation, but to demonstrate capabilities. And those applications include sort of some standard IoT sensors for warehouse awareness and facilities management down in Albany, Georgia, we'll be installing. And that's everything from managing the environment of the warehouse to even managing the CO2 levels as a proxy for airflow to reduce the chance of people getting COVID in this pandemic time. And using a combination of both mid-band spectrum and millimeter wave 5G spectrum, and then even going so far as providing actually the very, very first 5G ed applications for a 5G private network is for the NSC, working with a partner of mine, which is an example of the Silicon Valley technology I'm bringing in called Icon, doing augmented reality that does not require goggles. So we installed an application on the edge server for this project and able to show a very interesting warehouse automation application where it's a second screen that goes on your smartphone that uses the smartphone for connectivity and allows you to navigate through, in this case, a 3 million square foot warehouse to get to the place you're looking for. And when you arrive at that place, it reaches into a database that brings out a graphical view of the content of that box, which greatly reduces errors. And it sounds like a simple thing, but it's all done over the millimeter wave and CBRS networks that are being installed as part of this NSC award. And it's really the first time anything like this has been done and provides a great platform for doing additional things. So that's exactly the kind of thing that Capstone specializes in.
Well, that is amazing, especially when we have 5G with all its capabilities, right? Whether it's the enhanced spectrum capabilities or the bandwidth, and enabling those capabilities, and there's applications which go on top of that, which is what it enables, all that network. So, as NSC, we see an advantage of partnering with folks like your Capstone partners and that ecosystem. So do you have any concluding thoughts?
Well, I really think that it's a very important job the NSC is doing in that, um, doing these proprietary prototype systems are a required step in getting to a full scale deployment. And you need a vehicle like the NSC to be able to experiment and do it more quickly. And I think working together, and we saw this with the Marine Corps project, with working with Federated and JMA and Cisco and others, because usually no one person can do it. And for Capstone, we welcome our whole our whole model, our business model is built on partnership as a smaller company, and really providing that missing application and solution piece to really showcase what all this great enabling 5G infrastructure can do. And that's why, for instance, we were very excited to see that recent 5G telemedicine RPPs being issued. And we're hopeful to see many more like that because we think we're a great fit and the NSC is a great vehicle for those kind of projects.
Thank you, Alan. And thanks, everyone. That's all we have time for today. So feel free to reach out to me or to Alan if you have any questions or want anything more on this topic. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Thanks.